Hey everybody, Kyle Goeth here from GoatFilmReviews.com and the Goat Film Reviews YouTube channel, and I have my first reaction to the new Mel Gibson directed film, Flight Risk. I did not see this at a press screener. I waited till it was out, available, and I had some time yet, so I went to check out the movie. So I'm back from Flight Risk. I'm back from Mel Gibson's newest film, and you know, for context, I think Hacksaw Ridge was my favorite movie the year it came out. You know, for that year. So going into this one, I had lowered expectations, I guess, but I try to wash those at the door regardless. And I thought this movie was bad. Like really bad. Yeah, let me talk about the things that I think work in the movie. I think Michelle Dockery is very good in the movie, and I think Topher Grace is actually quite good in the film. He's good at playing these kind of nebulous, they might be good guys, might be bad guys kind of characters. I really think that's kind of his strong suit, is he plays those characters very well. But both of them are uplifting material that is far beneath what they're capable of doing. And so it's like they're doing good, but not in a good movie. Their writing isn't very good. The direction that they're given from Gibson had to have been bad because, there's some odd choices in there. Mark Wahlberg is flat out terrible in the movie. And I'm sorry to say, I know people like to trash on Wahlberg, but in all fairness, I do think he's a very capable actor, and I think that he has a certain kind of charisma, certain kind of charm and attitude that he can bring to certain characters. Things like how Nick Cage always uplifts the movies he's in, even if Nick Cage is not in a good movie, or Gerard Butler is able to uplift that kind of movies because he has like a charisma that he can bring to a character. Mark Wahlberg doesn't always have it, but he does have the ability to have it. And in this movie, it does not work at all. It's basically the three of them in this kind of pressure cooker situation. But the writing makes Michelle Dockery's character really stupid. And I guess I should cover the plot. The plot is Topher Grace's character gets captured by an FBI agent and her team, played by Michelle Dockery. And they are going to fly him to safety because he's going to turn on a major crime boss. And he's got receipts. And so they get on this plane to fly to, is it Portland? I think it's Portland. And you know, Mark Wahlberg's character is the pilot. Turns out he's not the pilot. He's a hired gun, or again, they don't really get into kind of who he is, but he's not the pilot. He's killed the pilot. Now he's taken it on, and he's going to try and torture, or again, we don't really know what he's going to do. That is the biggest crux of what doesn't work about this movie, is that it feels so bare bones. We don't really know what his character's ideas are or thoughts. He's just there to do the stuff. So like, whatever, right? He doesn't really work in the film. The two lead performers that are playing, I guess the good guys, if you will, there's some excitement to be had amidst the film, but yet Michelle's character makes some really bafflingly bad choices for an FBI person. Like frequently turning your back to the villain when you know he's the villain. There's a subplot about someone in the FBI is like working with the bad guys. And again, she makes some bafflingly stupid choices as to how to confront the situation. And often, and there's a character named Hassan, or it might be Hassan. They make a joke about, you could say either way and I'd be okay with it, who's like the guy who's helping her land the plane, essentially, get to safety. He's on the phone with her a lot. And there's kind of a little bit of charm and goofiness to how he kind of opens up and starts flirting with her while he's trying to get her to land the plane, but it runs out of steam pretty quick, and then he keeps doing it. And it's like, I think the idea is that he's supposed to be kind of like talking her down, calming her down with some like silly banter while he's helping her, but it wears thin very quickly. So there's not much to really like about this movie. The action takes like... It takes a while to get going, and then when you feel like you've earned the action beat, it just kind of muffles some really odd choices. It's not as exciting as it wants to be, but there's a few moments that work amidst the twists and turns of the film. I think there's some you can tell that Mel Gibson knows how to direct a film. He's either asleep at the wheel here, or he doesn't have a budget and he's just picking something that's meaningless to him. Because Mel Gibson is a person, I know, say what you will about him, he's an absolute asshole and a monster. But as a film director, he is a highly capable film director. And so if he is going to get hired to do this movie, he should be able to bring in a better film than this. And what we have at the finished product here is a bad movie with a poor script, some really bad directing choices, a director that feels like he's probably asleep at the wheel, and some lead characters that are really foolish, and a villain that doesn't have motivations. Oftentimes he just says, like, he just does this for fun. But it's like, but you're working for some... Again, like, they don't really get into Mark Wahlberg's motivations as a character at all. And he's kind of... I don't know, he's kind of silly. You know, there's the whole thing we've seen in the trailer. He's wearing the toupee. And even the... One thing I'll give it is the 4K of the film actually has it where, like, you can slide the toupee on and off, I guess. And that's the slipcover for the movie. So at least they understand that. But again, he's supposed to be your menacing villain, and you've made him silly and goofy. And I think in a way that detracts from the intensity of the film. So overall, Flight Risk is a bad movie. And there's definitely a reason they didn't screen this one for most critics. There's definitely a reason that this movie is getting kind of shuttered out quickly to get it out. It's just too bad because, again, like, Topher Grace, Michelle Dockery are able to do much better work than they're given here. And they're just not giving it. And honestly, it frustrates the hell out of me to see good performers that just are not getting quality work, because I think they're both pretty great in the movie for what they're given to do. It's just that they're not given enough to do, and they're not given anything of value to really do. So overall, I'm saying skip it. I do not recommend Flight Risk. I think it is a bad movie, and probably so far my least favorite movie of 2025. But let me know down in the comment section what you thought about the film. Maybe you disagreed. The guy that was sitting 3 chairs away from me, he loved it. He was giggling like a school kid. So let me know if you were that guy and you enjoyed the movie down in the comments section. But while you're here as well, make sure to like and subscribe. There are 2 free things you can do that help support the channel immensely. You never miss new episodes of the show as they drop. You can also check out goatfilmreviews.com. For my written reviews, you can check out Goat Film Reviews on Facebook. You can follow me personally at Almighty Goatman on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, Threads, and Blue Sky. And you can find a link in the video description down there for the Minnesota Film Critics Association, which I'm a member. You can find other film critics' reviews of new, popular, and classic films, as well as just more of my stuff over there as well. Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.